You ever meet someone and just know they were sent to Earth specifically to test your patience? Yeah, that was Jessica. Jessica was the kind of coworker who smiled to your face and then reported you to HR for breathing too loudly. The kind who would say, "I love your work," and then conveniently forget to include your name on a project. The kind who would fake laugh at your jokes while actively plotting your downfall. And for months, I played nice. I stayed in my lane. Until one day, Jessica crossed the line. And let me just say, she picked the wrong coworker to mess with. So let's set the scene. I work at a marketing agency in New York City. High stress, high stakes, and exactly zero room for nonsense. Enter Jessica. She gets hired 6 months after me, and within 2 weeks, I can already tell she's not here to make friends. She's here to social climb. You know the type. Fake nice to the bosses, rude to the interns, takes credit for every good idea, but disappears when actual work needs to be done. And at first, I ignored it because I was busy doing my job. And honestly, I thought she was just one of those annoying, try-hard coworkers who eventually burn themselves out. Oh, how wrong I was. The first time I noticed something was off was during a big project for a major client. I'd spent weeks putting together a killer presentation. Like, blood, sweat, caffeine-fueled tears went into this. The morning of the meeting, I go to print my slides, and they're gone. Deleted. Vanished from the shared drive. I'm scrambling, panicking, borderline hyperventilating, and then, guess who walks in? Jessica, looking suspiciously calm for someone who has exactly 0 deliverables for this meeting. And then, this chick pulls up a PowerPoint. And I kid you not, it's my work, with her name on it. I almost blacked out. At this point, I'm like, okay, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe she accidentally deleted my files and just happened to recreate them word for word. Spoiler, no, she was just a snake. So I start watching closely. My emails? Mysteriously not getting forwarded. My ideas in meetings? Somehow becoming her ideas. My name? Conveniently disappearing from reports. And then, the final straw. One afternoon, I overhear Jessica whispering to my boss, something about how I miss deadlines and struggle with communication. I'm sorry, what? Not on my watch. Jessica wanted a war? Congratulations, sweetheart. Now you've got one. At this point, I had 2 choices. 1, confront Jessica and let her gaslight me into oblivion. 2, outsnake the snake. Guess which one I picked? Here's what I did. First, I started BCCing my boss on every email. Second, I kept hard copies of every single report just in case. Third, I waited. Because I knew Jessica was going to screw herself over, and I didn't have to lift a finger. A few weeks later, we had another big client pitch. Jessica, of course, volunteers to take the lead. I sit back, I sip my coffee, because I know something she doesn't. Remember when she stole my work? Well, this time, she tried to do it again. But I made sure the files she stole were the wrong ones. Old drafts, outdated data, stuff that made absolutely no sense. So when she confidently struts into that meeting and starts presenting, it takes exactly 5 slides before the client goes, this isn't correct. Jessica, panic mode. She starts stuttering, flipping through her slides. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there like, oh wow, what a shame. And my boss, he turns to me and says, do you have the correct version? Why, yes. Yes, I do. I plug in my laptop, pull up the real deck, and nail the presentation. The client, impressed. My boss, suspicious. Jessica, fully sweating. And then, the best part, after the meeting, my boss pulls me aside and asks, hey, do you think Jessica is taking credit for your work? And I, being the humble angel that I am, simply say, I don't know, but you might want to check the email logs. The email logs, which by the way, were full of Jessica accidentally deleting my files. 2 days later, Jessica was called into HR. A week after that, fired. No references, no farewell email, just gone. You'd think the story ends there, right? Wrong. Because guess who slid into my LinkedIn DMs 6 months later? Jessica, begging me to refer her for a job. I almost dropped my phone, so I responded, best of luck, Jessica. Hope you find an office where no one BCCs their boss. And blocked her. Because karma? She's my favorite coworker. So what's the lesson here? Keep receipts, always. If someone's shady once, they'll be shady again. Never trust a coworker named Jessica. Okay, maybe that one's just me. But most importantly, the best revenge?